Hello.
Hair's all messy.
That's okay.
I've been cooking.
Are you cooking?
Well, I've got beef stew on.
Oh, sounds so good.
I know, right?
Oh, yes. Did you make bread?
No, I didn't have time.
Okay.
So, oh
Well,
well.
they get beef stew. So
Hmm.
let me know if you have any issues. When I logged on, it said internet is unstable. So I've never had
Oh,
that before. Yeah.
hmm.
So just let me know
Okay.
if you find that you can't hear me or there's an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before. So
Where's my pencil? Maybe I put it back in the cup. Pencil.
all right. So we'll go ahead and get started.
All right.
All right. So we'll start with some common words. Here we go. Heard, called, ice, does, for, payment, special. You do that all in one stroke?
Yeah.
Good.
And I
SPE.
still think about it though.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think I put an A in there and I didn't need that. I just needed the E.
Yep.
So, yep, I got it.
Okay, good. Leave, read, saw, statement, remain,
Is,
mind.
is
Oh,
there a brief for remain or
no,
just
I don't think so.
remain? Okay.
Statement, there
Yeah,
is.
I got that one.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. Let's see. Along, bring, found, myself, reason, around, report, town, following, left, summer, seem, interested, either, prices, reference, used, didn't, probably, going, general, show, meeting, present. All right. Now I've got some common phrases. So you're going to hear just a moment, which is JOMT. Let's see. All of the I don't knows, I didn't know, all of those.
Great.
So you just phrase what you can
Okay.
or what you want. Marked for identification is Moid.
Okay. I
Okay.
think I know I probably have that written down in my briefs, but yeah, I'm glad you told me because I probably wouldn't have remembered that one.
Yeah, Moid. And
Moid.
some of these you can't phrase. So it's
Okay.
just like common phrases.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Just a moment. I didn't know. I don't know. That I know. That he knows. That you know. What he knows. What I know. What you know. When I know. When you know. Where you know. Whether he knows. Whether or not I know. Whether you know. Whether or not you know. Which he knows. Which you know. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, about how large, too large, law officer, law enforcement officer, point of law, question of law, questions of law, where do you live, left-hand side, about how long, How long? Too long? No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. About how many? How many? Great many. Too many. Marked for identification.
Moid.
Yep, Moid. Matter of fact.
Isn't that MAFT?
You know what? I write that out, but I think it is. I think you're right.
Let me see.
that. That sounds right. MAFT, matter of fact.
Oh, you know what translated on mine is malice aforethought.
Oh,
Oh, well. Okay.
yeah. And then as a matter of fact is SMAFT. So
Maybe that's the one that I'm thinking of.
yeah, SMAFT. Now I do use
Okay.
that one, but you would think matter of fact would just be, but I guess, what did you say it came up as?
Malice aforethought.
Yeah.
Well, that one makes sense too.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
yeah. Okay.
Unless you did MOFT for malice aforethought, then you could do
Or MOFT for matter of fact.
Yep,
I'm
exactly.
gonna see. Let me see what comes up here
Okay.
when I do that one. Oh, just MOFT. So, okay, let me write that down. MOFT, matter of fact. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I'm writing this down too because now you can use MAFT for malice aforethought, and then matter of fact, like you said, MOFT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. May feel, may have been, may have had, may not, may recall, may recollect, may remember, may understand. All right. Well, we had some technical difficulties there. Oh, yay, you're there. Yeah. Hold on, I didn't even log out. I just kind of sat here for a minute because it was making a humming noise and it connection lost, and then everything went
I logged out.
Okay.
I logged out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure. I thought I'll just do that.
Yeah.
And get back in there. So, okay.
Anyway. Okay. All right. Now on to car accident or automobile words. Okay. This is our last column here. All right. Here we go. Police station, paved shoulder, center divider, stoplight, steering wheel, rear end, passenger's side, impact occurred, front end, left hand lane, right hand lane, traffic collision, California Highway Patrol, scene of the accident, driver's side, safety harness, motor vehicle, motorcycle, moment of impact, change lanes, railroad crossing, lane change, signal lights, police officer, bots dots, bots dots, and that's capital B if you ever come across it. It's, you know, those they have them at the mall, you know, when you're if they want to keep everybody on each side of the road and they really don't want you to cross, and they'll put those big dots. They're like,
I mean, oh, the really big ones.
yes,
Not the ones that are like on the freeway. Not
right,
those.
right.
Okay.
It's like
Oh,
those big, yeah, those circular things.
learn something new every day.
I know.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Left turn pocket, emergency vehicle, accident scene investigation, blood alcohol level. I think there's a brief for that, but I always write it out.
I'm hoping there's briefs for most of these because some of them I haven't heard. I mean, I have some traffic briefs and all, but some of those are like, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that this column is more like the phrases that you hear with car accidents, and I don't have a lot of briefs for the phrases. I do for the words, but not like a whole phrase. So I'm sure there is. Like blood alcohol level, I know there's one for that. Okay, rear view mirror, which is initial R, final FM. Black and white, BLAT. Median strip. Point of impact, which is POIKT, point.
Yep.
Okay. Number 1 lane. I'm sure there's one for that. I don't know what it is. Number 2 lane. Number 3 lane. Fast lane. Shoulder harness. Slow lane. At the scene. Curb lane. Middle lane. After the accident, AEX. Left-hand side, I write LANDZ.
Oh, I think I do LNDZ.
LNDZ, okay.
Same for right-hand side, RNDZ.
Okay. I just wrote that down. I always like to have what other people use too. Let's see. Exited the freeway. Entered the freeway. Flow of traffic. Pickup truck.
I know that one. Yep.
Police report. Miles per hour. I know there's one for that, but I write it out.
That would make sense.
Yeah, miles an hour. Again, I know there is one. Before the accident, BEX. Side of the road. Right hand side. Rear end collision. All right. Now, I've got some sentences that use the following briefs. Dozen, DOZ, manufacturer, invoice, boy, follow, FOL, figure, you can do initial F, final G.
That's what I do.
Okay, good. It used to be a long time ago when I started theory, it was FIG, but of course it's big.
I love that brief.
Yes, I do too. And then we have balance. How do you write balance?
BALS.
Okay, good. Perfect. BALS. Perfect. Okay, so here are your sentences. He figured the taxes all wrong. What does your company manufacture? Did you figure the amount that is owed? We did not figure that the balance on the invoice would be that high. They were in the manufacturing business. The doors were not manufactured here. Only a dozen people showed. Have you checked all your figures? Did you follow the orders? I cannot get a balance He is having trouble balancing the ledger. She figures we will give in. The singer has a huge following. Where were those figures manufactured? Where are the new invoices? We did not figure the cost of that. Why did you buy a dozen? It is cheaper by the dozen. Where did you put the invoices? They are manufacturing a new die. They said it was not manufactured here. It did not work as he figured it would. I have told her dozens of times. I ran out of invoices. We watched the balancing act in amazement. You need to follow up on that invoice. Figuring that invoice will take all day. Try following the rules. They were invoiced for a dozen. All right.
I always trip up my initial F's and D's. I hate that. And I think, yeah,
okay.
And I think about it afterwards.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Initial F and initial D. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, how everyone's a little different. It has different things that, you know, that trip them up.
You know what, Jill? Obviously go on with the class. I'm going to check my stew real quick.
Yep.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so we're going to start with Tangle Tamers. Particularly precise. Beach umbrella. Undocumented workers. Mentally retarded. Devastating announcement. Bureaucratically reclined. Refuse receptacle. Divisional distributor. Continuing education. Primary argument. Emotionally distressing. Service representatives. Supermarket parking. Brilliant portrayal. Easygoing character. Gracious architecture. Equestrian community. Affiliated technology. And you can you can write community all in one stroke, KM long UNT, all in one stroke. All right. Let's move into an automobile description drill. Here we go. 1986, American Motors Wagoneer. Little Volkswagen Quantum Silver, 1975. 1985, Datsun 720 pickup truck. Green Chevrolet Celebrity, 2006. Red 1984 Triumph Spitfire convertible. 2007 Buick Skylark options package. 1980 Delta Royale blue in color. Scratched and dented. 2001 Chevy Impala. Isuzu Trooper, 1987, diesel engine. 2014, Pontiac V8. Chrysler Laser, 1994, four-cylinder turbo. Gray, 2008, Delta, 08, one headlight, missing. 1983, Horizon Turismo, vehicle ID number 5783D1938. 2000, green Chevrolet Camaro with racing stripes. Jaguar XJS, red with black interior. 2004, Regency, 285 inches long, black. Right. So my last drill is going to cover, again, common briefs. Some of these are not so common. I mean, the drill is called common briefs in sentences, but some of them I notice aren't as common on this page. So I'm going to go through them, okay? And if you don't want to use the brief, you don't have to. You can just write it out, okay? So we have confident, initial K, final FT. Confidential, initial K, final FL. Conscious is initial K, final RBS for the shush. Control, KR. Now they have long OL, but.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Okay.
Isn't that what you always tell us?
Yeah, but I know some people like to just write it as KROL.
Oh.
I've heard that a lot. So I always like to, I wrote a little note here. Several people write it as KROL. But yeah, I do long O as well. Then we have deliberate, DLIB, deliberation, DLIBGS. Development is VEMT. Did you live? DUL. Now they have it flagged. So you either have to flag did you live or dole.
Right.
Together. Okay. Do you live? Again, you either flag do you live or dual.
Wouldn't that come out as dowel?
Dow. Yes, Dow. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's
Dow.
okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Do you mean? DOUM. Excuse me, SK long UM.
Oh, I like that one. I don't think
yeah.
I have that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
SK long UM.
Yep, scume. I learned it as a short U, but then that conflicts with scum. So,
I'm sure we're going to hear that one a lot in criminal court. He's a scum.
He's a scumbag. Okay, for identification is FOID, FOID. Kind of like mark for identification is MOID. Yeah. For instance, FRINS. I don't believe, YOBL.
I got to get these down. There's so many of them.
They're so good. I don't do, YOD. I don't even, YOEN. I don't feel, YOFL. I don't go, YOG. I don't get, YOGT. I don't imagine, YOJ. I don't mean, YOM. I don't say, YOS. I don't see, YOZ. I don't think, YONK. Kind of like all together, the end of the K. I can hear your cat. I had to put my dogs in my room so they wouldn't sit at the door and cry.
Oh, he'd sit at the door and cry if I put him in the room.
Oh,
So,
all right. I don't think so. YONGS. I don't understand. YONDZ.
I hate these.
Now, if you can just get, like, if you can, this is how I learned them. Once I kind of sat down and I wrote all the I don'ts, I can'ts, I didn't. And once I figured it out, like, okay, anything with do is final D, even though, even,
Right.
even is EN, then it's like, okay. So then you're just dealing with the phrases like, I don't, YO, I didn't, YI, I can't, YA.
Right.
So that really there's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it
No,
was a
I
visual.
know. And just now when I was doing them, for some reason, for the Y, I was hitting just initial K. And I had to tell myself, no, wait a minute, that's not Y.
Right.
KWR is Y. So,
Right.
all right.
Right. And then we have immaterial, IMT. In evidence, NEFD. So just the N for in and then EFD.
Mm-hmm.
Incompetent, IP.
Oh, I think I had that one before. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Independent. Now I write IND, but they have it as initial N, final PT. So you have a choice there.
I kind of like INT. I would have gone to, or IND.
IND, I do too.
Yeah.
Because I hear that end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have indict, DIT.
That's a long I, right?
Yes.
Or no? It is a long I. Okay.
Yep. Indictment, D long IMT. Instrument, STRUMT. Introduce, DRAO.
That one always gets me too.
Yeah.
I always want to put DR long US. And I that's
You could do
no,
that.
or not DR, but D long US, I think. But I think, what did that come up as? Oops. DOUS. Oh, do you say? That's what
Yes.
that comes up as.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yes.
how to figure it out. Okay. But you said DRAO, right?
Yeah. Introduce.
Okay. I think I have it in my brief book like that too.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then introduction is DRUBGS.
Okay.
Irrelevant, IR. Labor, L long AB. Legality, L long EGT. Marked for identification, MOID. More or less, M long ORLS.
That's a
that's
twister.
Yeah. More than, M long ORN. And then early in the morn would just be MORN. And then I will mourn for the loss of my dog would be MOURN.
Right.
Okay. All right. So here are your sentences. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I were that confident. If you forget some, just tell me.
Okay.
The file is confidential. Mitch was not conscious of her drooling.
Sorry.
I had control of the party. The jury will now deliberate. The deliberation lasted hours. I took child development in college. Did you live in Riverside? Do you live with your mother? What do you mean? Excuse me, where is the sale? Use your license for identification. For instance, this soup is gross. I don't believe your story. I don't do windows. I don't even know that man. I don't feel well. I don't get out much. I don't go to those places. I don't imagine how you would know. I don't mean I like him more. I don't say things like that. I don't see your point. I don't think so, Tim. I don't understand what you're saying. That statement is immaterial.
What was the material again?
That's
I am?
IMT.
IMT. Okay.
IMT, yes. Otherwise, it would conflict with I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The gun is already in evidence. The judge was incompetent. They all fought to be independent. They want to indict. There will be an indictment. A knife was the instrument of death. I want to introduce you to my wife. No introduction is necessary.
What was that one again?
That one's DRUBGS.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Druction.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what, you guys? Keep it down, please.
That is irrelevant, Your Honor.
Your Honor is YORN, right?
YURN.
YURN. That's
Yep.
what I just put. Okay.
Good. I was in labor for several hours. The legality is in question. This gun is marked for identification. Bill is more or less lying. I like music more than art. It was the early morn. All right. Now we'll go ahead and finish our little poltergeist story.
Start Stranger Things tonight.
Yes, I will. Although I have practice tonight. So
Oh, but it's cold.
I know, that's what I said. I don't want to go. I don't like to, and we're outdoors. We practice outdoors, so we have to bundle up. But then, after like 20 minutes, we get so hot that it's like, I can't believe I was hot or cold when I got here, but that's how we usually get sick,
Yep.
All right, here we go. The hand says Professor Stephen Shore, the astropsychologist on the team, is always quicker than the eye. He believes that is the explanation for all the recorded events. Tina is the most publicized case of suspected paranormal phenomena in recent years, and one of the best documented. Yet the events are hard to prove or disprove. Odd things happened when Tina went with Roll to North Carolina. A door seemed to open by itself. A cell phone flew from a desk and struck Tina in the back. Roll tested Tina for signs of extrasensory perception or ESP ability. Although she was able, while riding blindfolded in a car, to guess the colors of other automobiles with uncanny accuracy, and sometimes seem to know things about people before being introduced to them, the ESP test had to be judged inconclusive. Before Roll could complete his search, Tina borrowed a motorbike, crashed into a tree, and broke her leg. By the time her leg was reset in a Columbus hospital and she was back home, 2 months had passed since the curious events had begun. The house has remained calm since Tina's return. It is eerie to think that a young girl might have the uncontrollable power to make objects fly through the air. But it is also hard to accept that an average teenager with no special skill or knowledge or dexterity could beguile and hoodwink so many adults. Both skeptics and believers agree on one thing: whether the events in the Resch household were paranormal or a prank, the energy for them came from the storms and stresses of being a teenager. There are things that can't be explained, their minister told the Resch family. One of them is poltergeists. Another is teenagers.
Weird.
Yes, very weird. All right, I have some jury charge. This is actually a closing argument. So you're going to hear afternoon, prosecution,
Afternoon is A
effort,
for N, right? Okay.
Yep,
I'm sorry, after afternoon, what?
that's okay. Prosecution, patience, prime, Delaney, who done it? That's one word. Perceive, puzzle, comprehensive, uncontested, Valentine, concentrating, self-explanatory. All right, here we go. Thank you, Your Honor. I am sure you are all glad we have reached this stage in the case, and at least we are getting a start this afternoon. I want to thank you for your patience and for your attention during the course of this trial. I am sure counsel does as well. It has been a fairly long trial, and we have covered a lot of evidence and a lot of witnesses. I intend to go over some of the things that I think have the most importance to the prosecution's case. I intend to discuss the law and how it relates to the facts of this case. I won't cover everything because I feel a great deal of it is self-explanatory and not necessary for comment at this time. When I say, and what Mrs. Delaney says during the course of this argument, is not evidence. The evidence is what you heard from the witness stand, which is WAND, okay, and the exhibits that you are going to see. If your recollection is different from mine about what was said, go by your recollection and notes and not by mine. There certainly isn't going to be any attempt to mislead you as to what was said during the course of the case. You know it perhaps even better than I do. As I told you in the beginning, in the opening statement, a case like this is much like a puzzle. It is the pieces going together. Different witnesses can view the same thing, and all of them see it a little differently and perceive different things depending upon what they are concentrating on and what is important to them at the time. I think you can see, if you take the testimony of all of the witnesses and put it together, that you do get a fairly comprehensive picture of what happened, specifically on the night of November 28th, and on the earlier occasion as well. This case is not really a whodunit type of case. It is more of a decision on your part as to what it is exactly that Mr. Valentine has done, whether or not he is guilty of the crimes that we have charged him. Much of what was presented to you, I am sure, is uncontested by the defense as far as the facts, how they came out. A prime example of this, I think, is the robbery count. Count 2 in the case of November 23, 2011.
What'd you read that at?
I read that at 1:20.
Really?
Yes. I read
Wow.
that. Yes. Did it feel good?
Yeah, I mean, there were some that, I know that I got wrong here and everything, but it wasn't that bad.
Good. There, see? It's because you're on your machine more too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yay.
Yay. Yay for you.
Robert's probably looking at all of these classes going, oh great, it's the person that always shows up to this thing is the person that I sponsored. Great. I'm going to lose money.
No, are you kidding me? In fact, it would be the opposite. He'd probably be saying, okay, where is she? You know, why isn't she in class? No.
I know.
That makes me happy. Yes. He would mention
Hi, Robert. Hi. We missed you at lunch today. Oh, you don't like to eat. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, were your ears burning? All right.
Oh.
I'm just going to date this. And then this is we'll go right into Q&A.
Okay. Can we do some read back tonight?
Yes.
A little bit?
Yep.
Only with the 120.
Okay. Yeah. And I have this here, and I was going to read it once at 120, once at 140, and again at 160.
Okay.
So perfect. Okay, let me give you a word list. You're going to hear speedometer.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to read back.
Well, we don't have to do this one. Okay. Yeah. I think this one's
Speedometer.
speedometer. Yeah. Observe. Traveling. Wagon wheel bar. Accident. You're going to hear curve. Let's see. At any time. TNT. Kyle. Bishop. That's about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be, this will be plaintiff. And I took off my defense so we could do some court. Yeah.
Just noticed that. Okay.
Yeah. But this is just plaintiff and Q&A. Okay. So 120. Here we go. Let's see. Let me look at my watch. Hold on. I want to make sure because this is marked on every 20 words. 10. Yeah, I've got it right. Okay. Where were you going when you left? We were going out to the Wagon Wheel Bar. That is a place that is a mile or 2 miles beyond where the accident took place, is it not? I would say about a mile this side of the Wagon Wheel Bar. It was raining, wasn't it? Yes, it was. How fast do you think the car was traveling just prior to the time the accident occurred? Well, I wouldn't know, sir. I didn't look at the speedometer. Well, have you any opinion how fast it might have been going, even though you didn't see the speedometer? Well, I don't know, sir, how fast we were going. At any time prior to the accident and while you were on this trip, had you asked Kyle to slow down? Yes, sir. I recall that I asked him to slow down. Did you ask him to slow down more than once? I asked him twice, and that was before the curve in the road. Well, did you at any time after you left Bishop and before the accident look at the speedometer? Yes, sir. And what did you observe when you did look at the speedometer? That is when I asked him to slow down. That was right before the curve in the road. It was about 80 miles per hour. And did he slow down after you asked him to slow down? Yes, he did. All right. So second time now at 140. Okay. Where were you going when you left? We were going out to the Wagon Wheel Bar. That is a place that is a mile or 2 miles beyond where the accident took place, is it not? I would say about a mile this side of the Wagon Wheel Bar. It was raining, wasn't it? Yes, it was. How fast do you think the car was traveling just prior to the time the accident occurred? Well, I wouldn't know, sir. I didn't look at the speedometer. Well, have you any opinion how fast it might have been going, even though you didn't see the speedometer? Well, I don't know, sir, how fast we were going. At any time prior to the accident and while you were on this trip, had you asked Kyle to slow down? Yes, sir. I recall that I asked him to slow down. Did you ask him to slow down more than once? I asked him twice, and that was before the curve in the road. Well, did you, at any time, after you left Bishop and before the accident, look at the speedometer? Yes, sir. And what did you observe when you did look at the speedometer? That is when I asked him to slow down. That was right before the curve in the road. It was about 80 miles per hour. And did he slow down after you asked him to slow down? Yes, he did. All right. So last time at 160. Okay. Here we go. Where were you going when you left? We were going out to the Wagon Wheel Bar. That is a place that is a mile or 2 miles beyond where the accident took place, is it not? I would say about a mile this side of the Wagon Wheel Bar. It was raining, wasn't it? Yes, it was. How fast do you think the car was traveling just prior to the time the accident occurred? Well, I wouldn't know, sir. I didn't look at the speedometer. Well, have you any opinion how fast it might have been going, even though you didn't see the speedometer? Well, I don't know, sir, how fast we were going. At any time prior to the accident and while you were on this trip, had you asked Kyle to slow down? Yes, sir. I recall that I asked him to slow down. Did you ask him to slow down more than once? I asked him twice, and that was before the curve in the road. Well, did you at any time after you left Bishop and before the accident look at the speedometer? Yes, sir. And what did you observe when you did look at the speedometer? That is when I asked him to slow down. That was right before the curve in the road. It was about 80 miles per hour. And did he slow down after you asked him to slow down? Yes, he did. How was that?
Fast.
Yeah. There's a big
Yeah,
difference.
I dropped a few.
Okay. Yeah, there's
140 didn't seem too bad,
good.
but yeah,
That's okay though.
I know it's messy, and I'm just getting stuff in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though I know that I dropped and it was fast, I feel good about it.
Good. Oh,
So,
good. That's awesome. There
yeah.
you go. All right. So here's some Q&A. Okay. Like with four voice.
Court and everything.
Yep. Court's coming in and so's defense. Okay. Plaintiff is going to be questioning, but everybody comes in. Here we go. Did the bank teller, Marcy Kinderman, ever ask you to leave the premises? No. The policeman came inside the bank, and then what happened? Well, about another couple of minutes passed, and then 2-foot patrolmen were walking up the street, and they passed. As they were passing the bank door, they looked in the bank and they waved, and then they came in the bank. Who waved? The police outside or the policemen inside? The 2 policemen that were walking up the street waved. Did you see anyone inside waving back? No, I was up at the counter, so that makes me about 50 or so feet to the west of them. What next? I waited a couple of minutes or so, and then I walked down past the counter to see, I wanted to see what was going on. Then I stationed myself between the bank door and the door of the teller's door. There's a little bit of separation there. There's distance of maybe about 15 or 20 feet. 15 feet, I would say. Is that bank premises or Pennsylvania Stock Exchange premises? Neither or both? It's actually one whole building. It's all one building. At this time, with your right hand, did you push some leaflets off the counter by accident? I just flicked them with my finger on purpose. Did you push them with your finger? Can you describe to me how you did that? As far as I know, I made a motion with my fingers, flicking them, here, like this. May the record indicate that the witness has indicated that he flicked them with the back sides of his fingertips. Is that correct? Yes, I will accept that. That is accepted. You made this flicking motion in the direction of Ms. Kinderman across the counter. To the best of your recollection, did your hand extend further towards her direction when you made that gesture? Uh-huh. To the best of your recollection, did any of these leaflets come in contact with her person? Well, they fluttered. I believe that I saw some go as far as her person, 3 or 4 feet across the counter. Is that correct? Yes. Was Ms. Kinderman seated or standing at the time? Standing. What was the level of her head in relationship to the top of that partition? She's a fairly tall woman. I would say that her head probably was over a foot above the top of the partition. You indicated she was tall. Can you give me any estimate as to her height, please? I would say she was 5'7", 5'8" or more. Did you say 5'7" or 5'8"? 5'8" or more. Are you the same height and weight you were in 2009? I may have been about 10 pounds heavier, but that's just approximate. You appear to be rather well muscled. Do you participate in athletic sports of any kind? Have you ever boxed? I hike and skydive. I competed in boxing in the Army. I believe you indicated that after you had pushed, or however you wish to describe it, the leaflets in her direction, you handed her the note, ordering her to give you the money in her drawer. She made a motion with her arm, and the two of you remained there for approximately 30 seconds before someone else came over. Is that correct? Yes. During this 1 minute, did you have any conversation with Ms. Kinderman? No. The two of you just stood motionless? Yes. You made no conversation with her at all? Not that I recall. Did you make any other physical gestures towards her of any nature? Not that I recall. At that time, did it appear to you that she was going to continue with any transactions involving your note? Well, I really can't say what it appeared like she was going to do. I was waiting to see what she was going to do. Was there any reason why during that 30 seconds that you could not have gone to another window and selected another teller? Any reason at all? There were no restrictions. She was scared, and so was I. Now then, at this time, after the 30 seconds or so had elapsed, the bank manager, Mr. Barker, came over. Is that correct? Yes. And the proceedings transpired as you have explained to us earlier? Yes. You indicated that approximately 2 or 3 days after this incident took place, that would be about May 4 or May 5, you were arrested at the main branch of Philadelphia Savings and Loan. Is that right? Yes. After this arrest, did you arrange to have your attorney contact the bank and ask them to drop off the charges? Yes, I instructed my attorney to do this, to indicate to the bank that you would like to settle this short of any formal legal proceedings. I indicated that I wanted to talk to someone who was in charge of operations of some kind.
Yowza.
Yeah, you wonder, did the guy change his mind? Like, I was trying to see, it's kind of sounded like he was the one that was robbing the bank, but then,
Yeah.
well, what happened? Did he call his attorney and change? I don't know. You just wonder.
See if they'll drop all the charges. I'm sorry.
Here's her money back. Come on. No hard feelings.
Yeah, right.
I'm giving it back now. You wonder if
so,
yeah.
So we can just call us Even Steven.
Yeah, really. I won't do that anymore.
I swear.
Yeah. That happened
Oh my gosh.
when I was pregnant with Ryan. We were in a bank in San Bernardino, and Brooklyn was about 3, and my husband worked right next door at First American Title, and it was downtown San Bernardino. So we were going to go see him, but we went in the bank first, and the guy in front of me, I was like 8 months pregnant. And the guy in front of me said, he turned around and looked at me and said, "You can go first." And I said, "Oh no, go ahead." I just thought he was being nice because he felt bad for me. He goes, "Okay."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then Brooklyn pulls on my shirt and says, "Mommy, that man has a gun." And I knew.
Shut up. Oh,
he heard her say
my
that.
gosh.
And he turned around. He already had his gun out. And he said, "I'm not going to hurt you, but you have to listen to what I say." He totally robbed the bank in downtown San Bernardino.
Wow.
He got away and everything. We were in that bank for hours. He told me to go into the conference room, and he ripped at that time there were no cell phones,
Right.
just ripped the phone out of the wall, and he just said, stay in here and don't, make noise and be quiet. And he didn't hurt anybody, but he robbed the bank and got away. And the police came and showed me a lineup, with all the other people that were in the workers. I think it might've just been us. I don't even know, but not a lot of people were in there, but I couldn't pick them out. I was so nervous.
Really?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no way.
Oh, wow. So did he get off, or did they?
They think later, several months later, they think that because there was another bank that was robbed in Ontario, and they think it was the same person because,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So he did that person got caught in Ontario. So yeah. I remember one of the killers was freaking out, crying. And I remember thinking, lady, just calm down, because you don't want to make this man mad, just do what he says.
Yeah.
And he kept telling everybody, like, I'm not, if we had to come across a bank robber, he was the one to come across, because he really was. He just kept telling everybody, if you do what I say, I'm not going to hurt you. And no, he didn't hurt anybody. So, but the one lady was freaking out. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. It's just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. It's not like her job is on the line.
Right. Give him what he wants. And yeah. But I just remember, and then once it happened, the police came and they would not let us leave that bank for hours. We had to give statements, and oh my goodness. And then they ended up calling my husband saying, your wife's at the bank next door and it was robbed. And and they wouldn't let him in. And it was just it was probably on the news.
Okay.
This helicopter circling above. And
so Jill.
Yes.
Okay. With Ryan.
Yeah.
He's in your belly, for lack of a better, uterus or whatever.
Yeah.
You're involved in a bank robbery. Then later he gets bit. Wasn't it him that got bit by the tick?
Yeah.
In Colorado. And now this motorcycle accident. I mean,
I know.
He needs to buy a lottery ticket. Seriously. He needs to buy a lottery ticket.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he definitely has a purpose on this earth. That's for sure.
He's got his guardian angel looking over him for sure.
And when he got bit by that tick, we were in the High Sierras, kind of up by Bishop, up there.
I thought you said it was the Rockies.
No, it was the High Sierras.
Oh.
But, you know where you probably got that? He got Rocky Mountain fever. That's the name of the disease that he got from the tick. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Okay.
Rocky Mountain fever was the name.
Okay.
It's like
oh my gosh,
Lyme's disease. Yeah. Yeah. So now in fact, we went hiking last weekend, and it's so funny because we all check each other, make sure there's no ticks on us, because now I'm paranoid, about ticks.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So laugh about it now.
I know. Now we can laugh about it. That's right.
That's scary. I've never been involved in anything like that.
Yeah. Very, very scary. I know. Now when I go into banks, I'm constantly looking around. They probably think I'm weird because I'm
facing the joint.
What's this lady doing? Yeah, no way. I'm so now.
You know what? With everything that goes on in the world, my husband, every time he says he's constantly looking around, looking at people. He he works right next to the Grace Melvin Library in Temecula. Yeah. And since I have the car, he eats his lunch at his desk, and then he walks over to the library, and he says, I'm always just look, because that area over there, that's where a lot of the county offices are. Do you remember? I don't know how long. I'm sure it's been a lot longer than I think it is, but there was a guy that was over there that started yelling or something at his wife. I want to say it was last year. And the police came, and they ended up shooting him and killing him. And they had the whole area blocked off. And I'm, driving to pick up my husband, and it's like, what's going on there? But there's a lot of homeless people around there. And I feel bad. You and I, we so have to get together and everything. But just I feel so bad for these people. And I was just asking my priest last week, because the gospel that was said was Matthew 25, where Jesus says, you know what, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me, that sort of thing. And they're going, when were you that, Jesus? We didn't see you. And he's going, oh, no, the homeless person, that was me. The hungry person, that was me. You fed me. And I said, how can I live that out more? I said, there are so many homeless people in Menifee, and without putting myself in danger,
Right.
what can I do? Because some of them are addicts,
Yeah.
and sometimes you give them food and it's like they just dump it because that's not what they want. And a friend of mine has said, you know what, it doesn't matter if that's what they want to do with it. Then you did what you were supposed to do.
Right.
You can't decide for them what they're going to do with it. So
Right.
I
Right.
don't know. He never answered me. I've got to talk to him. I texted him. I said, what can I do? So he's so busy.
Yeah.
So
It.
yeah.
I thought you meant just a second ago when you said it. He never answered me. I thought you meant God hadn't answered you yet.
Oh,
Like, so I just
that
texted
too.
him.
I've got his personal number.
Yeah, you haven't texted me back yet. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Hello.
Taps foot.
Yeah, I know you're busy,
Emojis. Emoji with the halo above my head.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
waiting.
The prayer sign.
Oh my gosh. Hey, well, while I've got you, can you get together next week? Do you want to
Yeah.
get together? Okay, let's set a date now.
Let's see here. I'll just write it on a piece of paper and then put it in my calendar.
Did you get your mice today after lunch?
Oh, I forgot. Can you believe that? That's okay. I'll go back.
The snake is going to starve.
I know he's hungry and I need to hurry and feed him because he's going to hibernate for the winter. They kind of hibernate.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So I got to go. I know I totally got almost to Marietta. I'm like, I didn't go to the pet store.
They sell them at Villaggio's Pets though too. Do you know where I'm talking about? It's that pet store that's over by the mall, by Val de Broom and the.
Is that where they advertise like free or not free, but puppies?
Yeah.
I always see like little. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
You know where P.F. Chang's is?
Yeah.
It's right across the way. It's. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a new chicken and waffles restaurant.
Okay.
Over there too. And yeah, they sell mice and crickets and yeah.
Okay. I'll have to. Thank you. I know. Poor little mouse, Oh, I know. At least he doesn't eat the big ones. He eats the little ones.
Okay. I'm about to eat, so I'm sorry I brought it up.
I know.
Gross.
At least their eyes are still closed. All right. We'll move on. Let's see here. Next week. Let's see. We have class. Well, Tuesday worked really well.
I can't do Tuesday next week.
Okay.
No. Can you do Monday?
Monday. Shoot.
Monday. If not, I'd have to probably go to Thursday.
Thursday works.
Okay, Thursday morning. You want to come over for coffee?
Sure.
Okay. That way it's nice and cheap and you don't have to spend any money.
Okay.
So do you want to say, is 8 too early or do you want to make it a little bit later? Okay. And I won't make anything with flour.
Okay. No. Don't. I'll bring something. I need to make my eggnog bread, so I'll make it gluten-free and bring some. You like eggnog?
I have a recipe for eggnog that it's funny because Adam was just saying the other day, you have to make eggnog this year. And it's like, what, you want to have a heart attack? I mean, it's got egg yolks in it and heavy cream and whole milk but it's so good. Oh, I'd love to try it.
Okay,
I'd love to try. Okay.
I'll bring my eggnog bread.
Okay.
Gluten-free, so then we can, it'll be good. But I have some good flour that you can't even tell it's gluten-free.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
from
nice.
Red Mill.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'll make it out of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
So 8
Okay.
o'clock. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
and I'll text you my address just in case you don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
okay.
It's on the calendar then.
Yay.
Yay, I
And I'll
know.
Nora will be on her cruise.
Okay.
So, all right.
Lucky Nora.
That's all right.
I know.
We'll
Good
get
luck.
together and gab.
Yes, that'll be fun. I know because today wasn't long enough. So
I know, right?
it wasn't.
I had so much fun.
I had a great time with you too.
Good.
So okay,
Oh, good.
I'll see you. Have a great rest of your week. And if I don't see
Okay.
you before, I'll see you on Thursday. I'll see you Monday, though, I'm sure, and Tuesday
Yeah.
next week. Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
have a good practice tonight.
Okay, I will. And enjoy your stew.
I'm going to.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.